Hello everyone and welcome back to HeMakesMePlay. I am Marius and I'm blind. I can't see and so I make other people play video games. And I'm back here with Vincent. Hello Vincent.
Hello Marius.
Yes, back in the Wayhaven Chronicles.
Yes.
I'm excited actually because now today it's finally, it's time for blood. In this vampire story. It's the moment I've been waiting for. But it's a sciencey version of blood. We're going to the hospital today, right?
Yes, and also we have the option to do something on our own, which is wild.
Right, that's exactly where we left off. So last time we had that whole patrol thing where we almost got killed and Morgan helped us. And we're, of course, still completely oblivious to what's going on. But now, the game has shown us that, there's some danger and you may want to have some company. Mm-hmm. But do we, Vincent? I'm not sure. To refresh my memory, can you read what's going on right now?
Yeah, so on the way to the hospital. So I probably should have told one of the team where I was going before I'd gotten halfway to the hospital. But the fight with Adam had continued to nag at me. Still, I'll have to work with them again at some point. But after just earning my detective's position, I'm not eager to give up my first case to anyone, especially not someone like Adam. I glanced down at my cell phone, the silver phone rocking slightly on the passenger seat of my car as I drive.
You said silver phone, which is funny.
Yeah.
I think it's meant to be silver phone, Vincent. Sorry to be so nitpicky.
Yeah,
it's just now it's canon. Now she has a silver phone, which is like that's the brand in this world. They don't have Apple or Android; they have silver, right? It's her silver phone. Yeah. Okay, against werewolves and stuff.
Sure. Anyway. I mean, you'll never know when you need the silver.
Yes.
So, do we call anyone?
Actually, so right now I feel like I want a vampire with us for protection and power.
Really?
Yes, but I want Farah, the youngest one, right? For two reasons. Yes, one, she hasn't been featured very much, and two, of all the vampires, she's the one we can bully the most in case we need to have it our way. Because remember, the whole thing is they might be with us when we discover the truth about the blood. Mm-hmm. And they may want to prevent us from getting the information. Mm-hmm. But I think against Farah, we can hold our own. Adam, we would just have to shoot again. But Farah, we can probably just sort of big sister her into... what we want her to do.
I'm not opposed to shooting Adam again.
No, he was a total dick last time. But maybe we can solve it without violence.
So we call Farah.
Yeah.
Succumbing to my more professional side, I pull my car over in order to call Farah. I really should let someone in the unit know. After scrolling through the contacts list, I hit her name and the phone rings.
Her silver phone rings.
Yes.
Sorry.
They all have agency phones. Oh, another brand. They all have agency phones.
Right. But they're compatible. Silver and agency have made a deal.
It's like Apple and Android.
Yes,
you
exactly.
can still call each other.
It's just the messages show up in a different color.
Yeah. It's like the American flag behind it.
Yes.
They all have agency phones, having given their numbers to me a couple of days before. It clicks onto a rather generic voicemail and I say either, "Hi Farah, it's Kira," or "Agent Horville, it's Detective Longford."
Ooh, it's like, how formal are we? I think with Farah, I want to be like completely nice, but in a not formal, but in a slightly patronizing way. You know what I mean? Yes. I guess
we're already setting up the bullying.
It doesn't exist in English, but in German you have a formal and an informal, friendly way to address people, because of course you do. Mm-hmm. And this is often something that older or people in higher social status will do to people of lower status or younger people, to just address them informally, and it can come off as patronizing.
Yes. So we say, "Hi Farah, it's Kira,"
but patronizingly.
"Hi, Farah. It's Kira," I begin, wiping down my jeans as I speak. "Just letting you know I'm headed over to the hospital to try and hurry them along with the test results. I'll drop back at the station when I'm done and check in then." I pull the phone away, click it off, and throw it back on the passenger seat. Then I begin my journey towards the hospital once again, now with a small smile of satisfaction. It's a little way to the hospital at the edge of town, and I grip the steering wheel to guide me through the tree-lined open road. Sun strikes the windscreen. I have to blink past the intensity of it, the brightness cutting through my heavy thoughts of the team and the case. Finally, the hospital creeps into view. The flat, white building visible through the wall of stark trees. The hospital is by far the newest building in Wayhaven, built on the remnants of the first ever warehouse constructed in the town.
Wait, what does that mean, the nearest building? Nearest to the police station?
Newest.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, there was this whole thing with the mayor pulling the funding or putting the funding. No,
Yeah.
pulling the funding, right?
But like, I guess it's. I mean, we sort of shit on the mayor a lot, but I mean, if he's building hospitals, that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, but as soon as this little boy wants something different to play with, he pulls all the funding from the hospital. And
Oh, is that what he did? Okay. Yeah.
I think so.
Man, what a dick.
Anyway, when Wayhaven's committee, made up of the town's richest residents, led by the illustrious mayor,
Right.
had taken it upon themselves to renovate it, most of the town had happily agreed. Well, until they realized renovate meant tearing down the old building and constructing the bland cream brick building with no character that now stands in its place.
They would have rather kept their old warehouse.
I guess
Maybe it was
so.
like a historical kind of thing where it's more like an old barn.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it's the first ever warehouse constructed in Wayhaven.
Yeah, I shouldn't be dissing
So-
warehouses. I mean, sure.
And hey, they do have a charm. Unlike
Yeah, if it's
bland
like actually
cream
a
brick
historical
building.
thing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Still, if any building in town has to be rebuilt as new, then a hospital seems the best choice.
I'm glad we agree on this, Kira.
Being taken in for surgery should be a lot less worrying in a state-of-the-art facility rather than some old, crumbling wreck that maintains a feel of the past.
Yeah, honestly, hospitals are for utility.
I navigate the bend around the building into the car park, pulling into one of the visitors' spaces. It's hard to swallow down the feeling of seeing my little scratched-up vehicle squeezed between two gleaming sports cars. The automatic doors slide open as I approach, and I'm greeted with the open space of the reception area. I have to say, I'm always impressed when I step inside. I never realized there was such an array of palette grays and beiges to decorate with. The waiting area lies completely empty, which isn't exactly unusual. Everyone in town goes to see Dr. Turner first, and only at his insistence do they reluctantly visit the hospital, even in emergencies.
He's like a private practice guy. Is
So
that the
they-
guy we met at the start, the older guy who delivered us and wouldn't shut up about it?
Maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's wild to me that they have like one doctor that everyone goes to, but also an entire hospital.
Yeah, I know.
But
But this
nobody
might be a
goes to-
regional thing, you know? They also pull in people from Twin Peaks and like all the
Yeah.
other weird, mysterious towns in the area.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, so it's a wild setup. But,
Yeah.
I head to the front desk where the receptionist slumps in his chair. His gaunt face, drooping eyes, and sour expression are not exactly the most welcoming thing to be greeted with. I'm Detective Langford. I swipe my jacket aside, revealing my badge. I'm here about the blood tests results for the station.
Vincent, I think we've just started investigating.
In that case,
Yes, thank you. I was waiting for this.
there we go.
Yeah, this fits the receptionist quite well, I think.
Uh-huh.
So what does he say?
The man immediately stiffens, a crinkle on his nose as he eyes the badge. His worn skin reddens. Our resources are valuable, Detective. The results of the living take priority over the dead.
Or does he know about the undead? No, he just means the victims, the forensic stuff they're doing.
It's wild that the receptionist is saying that.
I know, but
like-
sure.
You
Yeah.
would usually just send them where they're supposed to go, and then
Yeah.
the lab technician or whatever tells you just.
But I
Screw
wouldn't
off,
slam
no
the writing
problem.
in this case because this is also just completely accurate to real people I've met in real life. Like receptionists who are a little bit full of themselves, I
Uh-huh.
would say, and will
Totally.
take any opportunity to exercise power in their position.
Uh-huh.
And so this
Terrible.
might be very real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can reply, yes, all those living patients I see you're swamped with. Number
Yeah.
2, I understand, but it has been a long time since we sent them over. Number 3. Without the results of the dead, you may have a lot fewer left living.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Because he's like the living count, but it's like, we're doing this to save lives. There's an actual serial killer on the loose right now.
Yeah, and hey, like a lot of medicine comes from results of the dead. So...
What, you mean like from research and stuff?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, just wait till he learns about the whole vampire blood thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Option number 4.
Yeah.
The lives being taken are just as valuable. And finally, option number 5. I'm sure a man in your position could help me out, right?
Oh, that's clever. Oh, man. Yeah, the thing is, number 1 is funniest, and I like witty, sarcastic Kira. But especially, like, oh boy, do you not want to piss off the receptionists and stuff. And the people at the phones and the people who are gating power, you don't want to mess with those guys. And that might not be the cleverest, directest way to get to what we want.
Yeah.
The most non-bullshitty thing to say, I think, is the... what was the third one, I think?
Without the results of the dead,
Yeah.
you may have a lot fewer left living.
Yeah, and there's the wild card option of the last one where you're trying to Jedi mind trick this guy, or like persuade or charm or whatever. But I don't know how you feel. I vote for number 3, just the straight narrow track.
Yeah.
Just be honest with this guy.
I also like the option number 2. I understand, but it has been a long time since we sent them over. That's also pretty straightforward.
I know, it's just slightly more pissy than the third one.
Yeah.
And with the third one, I prefer it because you're playing into what he's saying, sort of. But there's no big difference, so I don't know.
So option number 3.
Yeah,
Without the results of the dead, you may have a lot fewer left living.
Yeah. Tongue twister.
And if we don't get the results of the dead soon, you may have a lot fewer left living to deal with. I reply in a sharp tone. People are being murdered, and every second wasted means even more crimes could be committed.
You tell him, Kira.
The receptionist jumps a little at this, dropping his gaze and fidgeting. Eventually, he raises his arm and points a bony finger down the hallway to one side. Take the first right, then the third door on the left. The blood technician's office is there. But I can't guarantee he'll have what you want. He's new and a bit strange. I'll take
the doctor, he means?
Yeah, the lab technician.
Oh, the technician, right.
I'll take that into consideration. Thanks. I say in a sharp tone and
Nice.
then head off to follow the directions.
This was really satisfying. Thanks, games, for fulfilling my fantasy of lording over these asshole receptionists.
Yes. Back at the station. The office is painfully quiet without the detective around, especially after the arguments. Farah glances up at Adam. The anger is now drained from the leader's expression, and regret has taken its place.
Would you say this is a supernatural scene?
Is it?
Well, it's a scene change at least.
Sure.
I mean, we can turn it off, I guess.
Oh.
Or this, yes. It's vampires, come on. Okay, read it again, Vincent.
We have
but
to
in a
use our
spooky voice.
available resources.
Yes.
The office is painfully quiet without the detective around, especially after the arguments. Farah glances up at Adam. The anger is now drained from the team leader's expression, and regret has taken its place. Even Farah isn't going to risk poking him further about it. The sound of Farah's phone, chirruping from her pocket, breaks through the heavy quiet, and she quickly dips her hand into her pocket to retrieve it.
Spooky.
A voicemail alert blinks on the screen. Now, I just imagine there's fog outside the office for some reason.
And it's like all shot with like a bloom filter on the camera, and it's just very ominous and dreamlike. Yes.
There's a raven crawling in the background.
Yes, the vampires all move gratuitously slow with everything and with grace and stuff. This is what they're like when humans aren't around. They always put on a show otherwise.
Yes.
Yeah. Continue, Vincent. Very good.
A voicemail alert blinks on the screen, so she listens to it with her curiosity piqued. The detective's voice echoes from the phone. Like echoes, like she's in a chapel.
Yes. It's Kara. No, what's her name? Farah has a weird voice mod on this phone, yeah.
The detective's voice echoes from the phone, and Farah's brow arches in surprise. Hi, Farah. It's Kira. Just letting you know I'm headed over to the hospital to try and hurry them along with the test results. I'll drop back at the station when I'm done and check in then.
Spookily.
The realization of Adam's upcoming reaction to this news makes Farah pause before letting out a sharp breath.
Yeah, don't tell him, Farah.
At the hospital.
Okay. Whew. Glad we're done with this tense scene.
If we continue this playthrough will take like another 5 hours just because I have to constantly switch.
I don't think the switching takes that long.
No. The corridors are hard to navigate. Each grey-flecked wall merges into the next, and the headache-inducing fluorescent,
I would say.
Lighting masks any signs of natural light that manages to find its way through the low windows that line on one wall. Thankfully, it's not far to the door I need. A nearby sign points it out as the blood technician's office.
Really? That's okay. That's the most metal lab technician you can be, but I guess that's what he is.
Also, I really like the music stopping there.
Yes, that's true. It's like, wow, mic drop moment. The blood technician's office.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so stupid. I have become blood technician. I have drawn and so on. You know, stupid vampire voice. Yeah.
The nameplate hanging askew on the door announces the lab of Dr. Gale Leeway.
Gale Leeway?
Gale Leeway, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just leave that uncommented.
I give a sharp knock, waiting for a response, which comes quickly. Then I push open the door. Inside the room matches the rest of the hospital with its boring decor and color palette. The small lab is chock full with counters, each one weighed down by machines that whir and beep.
Kira has no idea what's going on in this lab yet.
Absolutely not.
Well, it was boring. There were machines that were whirring.
Yeah, that one
beeping.
is turning very quickly.
Yes.
Fascinating.
I was wondering if this man could repair my coffee machine, which was whirring and beeping back in the office.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Test tubes and beakers dot any available space left. Though I barely see much at all. The intense stench of disinfectant almost makes my eyes water.
Oh, that's a good description. Really brings it to life for me. I know what hospitals are like.
Yeah, stench of disinfectant is for me associated definitely with the undead.
Oh, really?
The zombies and stuff. Yeah, they use it to mask their stench.
The zombies?
Yeah.
The zombies camouflage themselves?
Well, not the zombies themselves, but like the technicians or
You mean like in if you have a modern story with zombies, like in Dresden Files or whatever?
Yeah.
You make me think of that. Whereas there's a whole plot line where, you know, a morgue gets invaded by a necromancer, and those zombies, they are all probably drenched in formaldehyde and stuff, and reeking of chemicals.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of thing you're thinking of?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. Might happen
Because,
here.
you know, zombies stink.
It's true, but like normally they stink of like rotting flesh and stuff.
Yeah, so you mask it. So that makes me think, we've already had the idea that this lab technician, which is a new addition to the town.
I know, and he got a name, so he must be important and will come up again, I think, yeah.
And he might be in cahoots with the supernatural in some way.
He's sus as fuck for me, yeah.
So, if any of his flesh falls off, we know we got him.
Yeah.
Stepping further inside, I stare at the tall figure at the end of the room. Their back is to me, their shoulders draped in a crisp white coat. When they make no move to indicate they are aware of my presence, But we knocked at the door, so they know we are here.
Yeah, or they're completely oblivious. Maybe having headphones on the job.
Oh, but we knocked, and then we entered when we got a response.
We did get a response?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, I think that's a bit of an oversight on the writing.
Or he's just purposely ignoring.
Someone else said, go in. He won't hear you, just go in. Yeah. That's canon now. It was the receptionist yelling at us. Yeah. Dr. Leeway's hard of hearing. You may have to, approach a bit closer.
I love it. So we can either clear our throat, ask, excuse me, awkwardly say, or wait quietly.
Okay, where's the option where she picks her gun and shoots in the ceiling like a mad cowboy?
No, we don't have that one, but I wish we had.
Like, this is stupid, I'm sorry, but like this guy in The Simpsons who keeps showing up, the Texan guy with the 2 guns who keeps, I don't know. That's what Kira should do. That's silly, I'm sorry.
Yes. But I mean, we're talking to vampires and stuff, so it's fair to be silly.
Yeah, but vampires are like cool silly, you know what I mean? Yeah. With like
depends
black
on
clothes
the vampire.
and stuff. Yeah. I think we should just clear our throat. He must hear that.
Clear my throat, shifting from foot to foot by the doorway. The doctor swings around, his face masked by enormous goggles. He yanks them off the plastic, pinging against his gloved hands.
Is he like Dr. Frankenstein or something?
I don't know, but...
Yeah.
I'm
getting strong mad scientist vibes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Enormous goggles. Yeah, okay, we get what you're putting down. So he yanks them off, the elastic pinging against his gloved hands. Yes? I'm Detective Langford, I explain. I don't exactly want to get off on the wrong foot with this guy if he's the one who can rush the test results through.
Absolutely.
I'm here about the blood test results the station's pathologist requested. Mm-hmm. He purses already thin lips. A shadow of stubble lines his jaw, dark against the paleness of his cream skin. I like paleness of the skin, yeah, okay.
He's a total mad scientist.
Yeah.
Also the verbs she's using, he doesn't pull off his goggles, he yanks them off and stuff. He's like more and more suspect to me.
Yeah. Also pale, undead.
Yeah, or necromancer.
Either one, yeah. The black curls, streaked with grey that surrounds his face, bob as he nods. His face is lined with age, but still handsome.
Okay.
Ah, yes, I remember. The staff told me there was no priority on those and to keep them on hold until later, so I hadn't sent them out yet. I bet they did. I shook away the thought. It really has become somewhat of a priority, Dr. Leeway, I reply, letting genuine urgency into my voice. Leeway? He frowns, then glances at the nameplate on the open door. Oh, they still haven't changed that over.
Oh, sorry. So this isn't Gale Leeway.
Then it's Doctor... He springs into action when he realizes I'm waiting for an introduction. Yes, of course, sorry. He offers his hand out after rolling off his glove, a smile white on his face. My name is Dr. Ethan Murphy. I place my hand.
Oh my God.
And shake it.
Oh no, Kira. She doesn't know. Oh my God. I wasn't quite expecting that. Very good. Yes. This is him. Oh my God. And now we dragged Farah into this. Who's not the strongest vampire. Good thing we called a vampire though.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And I'm surprised that Dr. Ethan Murphy didn't recognize us by our scent.
You don't know. He might have, and maybe he's just playing an act to lure us in closer. We haven't gotten his perspective on the situation. Oh boy.
Let's click next chapter.
Oh man.
I smile as politely as possible at the doctor, withdrawing my hand and placing it back at my side. So, about those results? Oh, of course. He smiles in understanding, but it's a tight expression. One that makes me suppress a strange shudder.
Yeah, she gets it. She's waking up to the reality.
Are the results in relation to these recent murders? And we can say, I am afraid I can't discuss that. Number 2, I suppose that's pretty obvious. Or number 3, they are, which is why I need them urgently.
I have to say, this is all really cool. Just for a moment, I want to appreciate this. Number one, the writing really got me with the whole bait and switch with the Gale Leeway thing. I was just thinking, why would you name a character that way? That's an awkward name. And that distracted me from realizing, oh yeah, of course this is going to be Murphy. And they've like seeded this. Like we knew that the technician got switched out and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was so distracted with this stupid name that the game it totally pulled this surprise on me, and it got me, and it's great. And now I have to say, this whole thing that you don't see this in other like RPGs and stuff very much, in my opinion, where we as the player know so much more than our main character, and it creates this whole tension now where you know what I mean? We now have to think about, oh shit, what would she say? How can we navigate this situation to a place that is like might reveal more stuff to her, but also doesn't get her in danger and stuff. It's very tense, and you don't get this perspective in other games very often, and I appreciate it.
Yes.
It's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
So again, knowing all this, and that this guy is Murphy, and what we want here is to A, not die, and B, get the blood results, which I don't know. I mean, did he even work on that stuff? Is he just faking it all the way? I don't know.
He probably looked at it and realized that it's related to himself, and then he either changed the results or has not worked on them at all.
So the thing is, we might not get the actual real like super vampire blood results from him, but we can still sort of push into that direction, hoping that this will sort of catch him in a lie, and it will make Kira realize what's going on, right? So it's still useful to push for the blood results.
Yeah, I do not expect Kira to notice what's going on, because
but how long? Yeah.
Very good at that, but yeah, sure.
But we have to give her that chance.
Yes.
How long can the game keep this charade up of keeping her oblivious? Come on.
I mean,
we have to at least give the game.
Marius.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. We've been joking about this, but like we have to at least give it the benefit of the doubt and give Kira the chance to realize it at her earliest opportunity.
So how do we do that?
Yeah. So please read to me again the options.
So the question was, are the results in relation to the recent murders?
Yes.
And we can answer, I'm afraid I can't discuss that. I suppose that's pretty obvious. Or they are, which is why I need them urgently.
Okay, for me it's either 1 or 3. What would an actual police officer do?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Would they disclose what they're working on to a lab technician?
I honestly don't know.
I guess if you don't know, it's better to not say anything.
Yeah, I think that you would keep all details of an ongoing investigation maximally under wraps. Yeah. I think we say number 1.
Okay. I'm afraid I can't discuss that, I say, trying to keep my tone steady. That made me think of Hall 9000. I'm afraid I can't tell you. Hey.
All right, yeah. Kira goes into robot voice. Yeah.
He suddenly takes a wide step forward, closing the gap between us. Although he's a slight man, it's hard to deny the power behind his presence. I swallow down the odd reaction, standing my ground. You can tell me, he says. What you say in this room won't leave it.
Oh, yeah, because he's going to kill us. That's what I believe. Also, this is so funny because just moments ago, and he probably heard it from the hall with his vampire senses, we just like had an open discussion with the receptionist about, this is all about the murders and the dead people. And it's such a small town thing. Everyone knows. Like, how many blood tests does he get each day? It's, and one comes in from the police station when there's like a serial killer on the loose. Of course, it's about the blood, but it still fits because Kira, she's sensing that something is wrong. So and she goes just into this more shut down mode of, no, we're not discussing this. Something's wrong here. Yeah. So
also wondering this. You can tell me, is that him setting up for like some sort of hypnosis or charm?
Oh, it might be. Yeah. But he does he know that doesn't work on us? No, right? It's just Morgan figured that out with her pheromone cloud. Yeah. So we have an advantage on him on that.
Yeah. So he says, you can tell me. What you say in this room won't leave it. And we respond, I frown. I still can't discuss it. Dr. Murphy snatches out, grabbing my hand and pulls a fifth. I instinctually make to yank it back, but
Whoa.
he grips it with surprising strength.
Holy shit.
His cold thumb rubs over my wrist. Why don't you relax?
Yeah, he's trying his moves on us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
A prickle of fear crawls over my skin as I stare into the man's eyes, which, although framed with a few fine wrinkles, hold an unnerving amount of strength to them. And we can take a quick step back. The results, Dr. Murphy. Number 2. I can't relax until the killer's caught, and the results will help when we pull our hand away.
Wait, what? I can't relax until the killer is caught.
Yes.
I see. Yeah.
Number 3. We place our other hand on his and smile. Sorry, but there are rules about these things. Number 4. We snap our hand back. Just give me the results, then I'm leaving.
It's a weird thing he's doing.
Number 5 is, okay, this is weird, and we tuck our hand away.
That's just what I just said.
Yes, exactly.
That's very nice. Is she saying that out loud? Okay, this is weird.
Mm-hmm. I wish there was...
Unfortunately, that's out of character for Kira, the way we've played her.
I wish there was an option to just embrace the weirdness and start flirting with him or something.
I know, but that's kind of what put your other hand on his, but it's just the sort of gentle letdown.
Yeah, but that is still, it's a letdown, right?
Yeah,
it's
it
not
is.
an embracing it.
No, okay, but that I was hoping for that too. Like I was hoping for the thing where you play along and you fake being charmed by this guy, and then you have a real advantage on him. But the thing is, Kira doesn't know that. It would be totally breaking continuity and stuff. Yeah. And I also, so that's also why I don't want the gentle letdown, I think. I don't know. And the saying, oh, this is weird, it feels like millennial talk, which is just not how we've played Kira so far. Like Farah could say that, ooh, this is weird. Like that kind of stuff. What was number 1? I think that might have been a good one.
Yeah, take a quick step back, away, and then we say the results, Dr. Murphy.
Yes, I think I want to go with that.
Yeah, that's
professional, straightforward.
Yeah. I rip my hand away and take a quick step back. The results, Dr. Murphy. My voice is unwavering and sharp. The doctor's face contorts into confusion before he stares down at his hands like they are broken tools.
That's nice. Yeah,
that is nice. Yeah. Hopefully he's realizing just how creepy he is acting. But when he flicks his gaze back up to meet mine, his eyes shine with sudden excitement, and a grim smile sits on his lips. Thank God he sticks to the lab. I certainly wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley. I purse my lips. Thought.
That's nice. That's dramatic irony.
I'll just get those results for you, detective, he says, turning and fishing through the pile of folders, each an inch thick with printouts. The sole of his shoes squeak against the linoleum floor as he shuffles from desk to desk. I grit my teeth to bear the noise, coupled with the endless whirring drone of the machines all about the room.
Oh man.
After a few minutes, the doctor grabs a file and tucks it from a mountain of others. Ah, here we are. He spins to face me, then stumbles forward with a gasp. On instinct, I spring into action, dipping forward to save him from colliding with the center row of counters. His weight bashes into me like a toppling column, and I slam back into the table behind.
What the fuck? He just basically fell into us. Is that what's going on?
Is he pretending?
Yeah,
He's
I would assume
pretending,
so, yeah.
My hands slap down on the surface to take the brunt of the fall. Ah! Pain lashes over my hand, and I draw it to my chest with a hiss of pain. I can already feel the warm slickness of blood trickling from the cut without even looking at it. I manage to smash a beaker beneath my palm on impact with the countertop. A glass shard sliced across my skin.
Wow, this is cool. This is, payoff for a setup that happened a long time ago, because it's very reminiscent to me of the prologue scene where, this vampire killer killed the last lab technician, and there was also crushed beakers, I think, and that murder happened in this very lab, I'm sure.
Quite possible, yeah.
Well, maybe not. I guess we were we weren't at that crime scene, right? It was a different one, yeah.
We never knew about that
Yeah,
murder. And in that scene were also multiple deaths. So, possible.
Yeah.
Oh my, the doctor stutters, his gaze snapping to my injured hands. I'm so sorry, detective. Here, let me... He whips out a handkerchief from his jacket pocket and makes to press it against my hand.
Does he want to test our blood to make sure we are special?
I'm pretty sure that's this goal here, yes. To test it, to get some of it, I don't know.
Because, I'm not quite sure why he wants that, because I think he can already smell us and stuff. But I don't know, maybe he does like magic with the blood as well, I don't know. We never cleared up the whole chanting business and why that was so important.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but I guess this is just his way of dipping his toes into.
Yeah, I don't know.
Strategy. He can't kill us here because at least the receptionist knows we're here. So this is his way of.
Clearly there's some stuff we're not aware of yet, so that's fine.
We can reply. I've had worse. Trust me. Number 2, it's not your fault. Please don't worry. Number 3, it's nothing. Number 4. I can deal with it myself. And number 5, jeez, you should be shocked. You should be sorry.
I can deal with it myself.
I can deal with it myself, I say, yanking the tissue from his advancing grasp. His gaze never leaves my injured hand, his eye wide as he swallows hard. Of course. Holding back a breath, I press the handkerchief against the wound, gaining a little relief at the pressure. I hold out my uninjured hand. The results. Dr. Murphy blinks out of his staring and shakes his head. Yes, here. He slaps the weighty file into my hand. Thanks. I tuck the folder under my arm, my other hand clutched around the handkerchief. It seems to have stemmed the bleeding. When I turn to leave, Murphy's shoes squeak against the floor again. Can I ask where I might find you, just in case I get anything new on those results?
This is now him asking us? Okay.
I hold back a groan, turn on the spot, and just about manage to wiggle a card out from my jacket pocket. This is my name, also the address and phone number of the station. I'm usually there if you need to get hold of me.
Call me on my silver phone.
Yes. But it only works if you have an agency phone.
Yeah, or a silver phone.
Yeah. He flips the card over in his hands, a long smile on his lips. Thank you. Turning once more, I finally manage to leave the lab, shutting the door firmly behind me and letting out a long breath.
Yeah, even if she thinks that this guy is mundane and not a vampire, he's still sleazy as fuck and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, oh boy, why did he not kill us, Vincent? Then and there.
Yeah, but too many witnesses, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. He definitely seems to be operating not with brute force, usually. And he's like, he's really into charming his victims, at least.
Yeah.
He's done that with each one of them. I guess maybe he wants to avoid outright combat confrontation in that way.
Yeah, that's quite likely.
Yeah.
Now I understand why Werder always rings the hospital and never comes in person. I shake my head, pain still pulsing through my hand. Thought I was going to have to press him hard to get those results. Thank God it didn't come to that. I don't want to be dealing with a police captain berating me for my treatment of professional colleagues. Time to get back to the office and hope the results turn up something that was worth going through.
Yeah, I do want to look at those results, actually. What did he give us?
Yeah, also, where's Farah? Is she nearby?
Well, we don't know. I'm sort of waiting to switch to her perspective at some point.
Well, we have a perspective switch, but not the one you wanted.
Okay.
Inside the lab.
Yeah, spooky again.
You thought I was done? You thought it wrong.
No, I want to know what Murphy's thinking. I'm really curious, actually.
As soon as the door clicks shut, Murphy's eyes flutter closed. He takes a long draw of the scent of blood that lingers in the air. The smell of it lines his nostril and throat, seeping over his tongue like an expensive wine. It is so strong you can almost taste it. His eyes flicker open, and he glances down at the broken beaker on the counter. The clear glass pieces are stained an opaque red with the detective's blood.
Mm-hmm.
He grins. It had been her he'd sent the night before, the blood he needs, and she'd walked right into his lap. The irony of it makes Murphy chuckle. He would have missed it altogether if it hadn't been for the detective's immunity to his attempt at using pheromones. The disinfectant stench in this place masks everything to his acute senses.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, and that's been established, the whole infection. Remember that we had this whole discussion about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Masks everything to his acute senses, including the sweet scent of that blood. Grabbing a cotton swab from the side, he dabs the white pad against the line of blood. The red liquid looking like a vein against the countertop. It takes all his willpower not to lap it up from the surface with his tongue. But he has to test it to be sure. He caps a plastic container over the sample, his attention caught by a small dribble dripping down the side of his counter. His lips purse, the smell of it taunting him until finally he gives in. Running a finger up the side, he lets the blood pool on his fingertip. He brings it to his lips. The effect is instant.
Whoa.
Murphy's mind bursts white hot. Power coursing and surging through every muscle. Strength pours into his limbs like they're expanding with power. His hearing has sharpened to the point where he can hear the lumbered breath of the receptionists at the front desk. His vision pierces into every small nook in the room.
Whoa.
The feel of the cold of the countertop is like ice against his fingers as he clutches against it to stay standing. Even the brush of his clothes against his skin itches with the suddenness of feeling every fiber. His already heightened senses explode into overdrive, his eyes rolling back in ecstasy of it.
Holy shit.
And then it floods away.
And that was just one drop.
Yeah.
Wow.
He needs the whole container.
Can you imagine if he would just drain Kira, what this guy would be experiencing and how powerful he would be?
God, yes.
Oh god. Our blood is like a potent drug to this guy.
Yeah.
I wonder, but that only works on people like him, right? If anyone else tastes our blood, that's not gonna happen.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume this is only for vampires.
We should ask. Yeah, but I'm wondering if it's just for his kind of vampires. Are there different kinds of vampires? What happens if, like, Adam drinks a drop of our blood?
I don't know. I mean, that's never been described that they're like coveting our blood. It just makes me curious. I just want to experiment and like get the stupid mayor's son, have him drink our blood, and see if he explodes or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I don't think it affects humans, but maybe it does.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's just I want to understand the mechanics of this vampire fiction.
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay.
Murphy staggers, barely managing to stay on his feet as the feeling drains away. His hands shake, his knees weaken, and he has to pant for breath. If a small drop can do that,
Yeah.
he smiles to himself at the thought of what the rest of the detective's blood could do, especially after Murphy has finished with her. Slumping into the nearby chair, he smiles again. The blood is untainted. Whatever vampire had masked this detective's scent before, obviously isn't feeding from her. Maybe the vampire doesn't realize just what they had in their possession. Taking out the other vampire will be easy enough if they intervene. And Murphy has a way to do it without even getting his hands dirty. It will be well worth the risk to obtain his vessel. This is his last chance. This time, he has to get it right. No more failures.
Oh, that's good. Also now makes me feel like, oh shit, we as Kira have to protect the other vampires from this guy. Which is nice, because they're normally this detail that is trying to protect us.
I wonder, because the others don't appear to drink human blood.
We've never seen that, no.
So I wonder if this is a power thing. If you drink human blood, you get more and more powerful, especially if you drink the correct blood.
Yeah, but we don't have even a name for like what the kind of person that we are, right? But like special blood people, yeah, maybe they give the vampires more power or whatever. I don't know. It's all stuff I'd like to understand. But definitely, I think we're right on this, right? We've never seen or heard about Adam and the others drinking human blood.
No, I feel like there was something about drinking like animal blood, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember. You might be right. I don't know.
If
We've
it
certainly
was
had
just at the
discussions
beginning.
about true blood and stuff.
Yeah,
and this whole idea, maybe the agency gives them synthetic blood. I don't know. You know, maybe they have willing like people. Who knows? We've never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
All right.
At the station. Oh, yes.
Excellent.
When I arrive back at the station, it's far later than I had expected. The afternoon sun has lost its warmth, the bright rays already starting to dip below the horizon of trees. Checking my coat and things inside, I'm half surprised to find my office empty. Unit Bravo have obviously already headed home for the day. With a shrug, I head towards the basement, knowing Verda will be keen for the results.
Yeah, I do. I hope we can discuss the results. Yeah.
Finally. Down in the basement.
I think we're investigating with Verda now.
Okay.
Yes.
Pushing open the doors, I step inside the bleak lab. A shudder runs through me at the reminder of what just happened at the hospital. Verda sits with his back to me, hunched over his desk and staring with full concentration through a microscope. Apparently not even the sound of the doors can distract him from his work. I smile at the sight.
This is a thing with technicians in this game.
He's always been a hard worker, right from the moment he stepped inside the station after transferring in from the city a few months ago. Oh, so he's new as well. The man had barely gotten through introductions before he was marching towards his new lab to handle the backlog.
Whoa.
And we can say, I'd introduced myself with enthusiasm, and the two of us hit it off straight away. Number two, his obvious intelligence was opposing at first, but I eventually realized he's a really laid-back guy.
Are we making a statement about the past now and deciding what happened then? Okay.
Number three, we were both focused on work, but got to know each other in time. Number four, another science-minded colleague was just what I needed. We bonded over our shared interest. And number five, we're on good terms, though our relationship has always been more good colleagues than friends.
I like Verda. I want to be friends with them. What was the first option?
I'd introduced myself with enthusiasm, and the two of us hit it off straight away.
It sounds nice, but it also doesn't sound like Kira. What was number two?
His obvious intelligence was imposing at first, but I eventually realized he's a really laid-back guy.
I kind of like that one. How do you feel?
Yeah. And Kira doesn't seem like she would be irritated by obvious intelligence.
No, but also, how do I put this gently?
Yes.
Maybe you know what I mean? Like, I understand that Verda might be a a couple points above her in the intelligence department.
She might just not have realized that his obvious intelligence might not have been so obvious to her.
Look, Kira is great. She's like very brave and has very many leadership qualities. But it's just, those are different things than just pure intelligence. That if she was that kind of person, she would be in a lab or like a science person. She's not, right? And we don't want her to be. Yeah. But I totally buy that Verda is like smarter than her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I vote for that option.
Okay, let's take number two.
Yeah.
It was obvious he was probably the most intelligent guy in the station. Let's think about the guys in the station. Yeah.
Checks out, yeah.
Who else? Douglas?
Mom, when she's here, maybe. Yeah.
It was obvious he was probably the most intelligent guy in the station. And usually that also comes with a big ego. But after investigating him a little further...
Investigating.
That's what police officers do. I found out just what a nice guy he actually is, with barely any ego at all. As much as he deserves one with what he can... one with what he can do.
It's a weird phrase. Yes. He deserves an ego. Yes, you don't usually say that. But fine, I get it.
It's strange to think back on a time when he wasn't around. My smile widens as I shake my memory away. With the results gripped in my hands, I move towards the pathologist. He's still huddled over the microscope. Oh, is he dead? I hope not.
Oh man, that would suck. We just decided on our relationship with them and stuff.
We can say number 1. Werder, you got a minute? Number 2, I come bearing gifts.
That's funny.
Number 3, here are the results you wanted. And number 4, sorry to disturb you.
I come bearing gifts.
I step forwards, slapping the paper down on the desk beside him. I come bearing gifts. His focus shifts to the papers. Excellent! He then swings around to face me, blinking rapidly. Sorry, I've been staring down that microscope too long. The words got fuzzy.
Word, is the coffee machine working again? It's blinking a lot.
He's fixing it right now. I give a chuckle. But his attention doesn't remain on the papers long, as he catches sight of my badly handkerchief-bandaged hand. What happened? He throws down the file, stepping closer and reaching out to examine my injury. Thankfully, the bleeding stopped some time ago. And we can say, idiot at the hospital tripped and fell onto me. This was the result. Number 2, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Number 3, there was a bit of a fight for your results. You should see the other guy.
I like being jokey with Werner. It's kind of nice.
Number 4, I fell onto a glass beaker at the hospital.
I mean, that's sort of what happened. But since we opened with a joke, I feel it's appropriate to continue that way. So tell him there was a fight.
Oh, this, I reply, turning my hand over on his. There was a bit of a scrap for your results, but you should see the other guy. Werder snaps his gaze up to mine, and I give a wide grin. He rolls his eyes. Oh, come on. I clean it up and wrap it properly for you. With a soft laugh, I follow him over to the first aid kit on the other side of the room. Whatever treatment you can give is bound to be way better than my futile attempt at bandaging it.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that. I didn't say it, but like just putting a fucking handkerchief on it is not what like a real doctor would do. Like in a hospital,
yes.
Like handkerchiefs are not sanitary. Like this, it's not what you would do.
Yeah.
So that also should like give her a hint that guy is not legit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But also, I wanna like how deep a cut is it? Right? Is it just a superficial cut? Because in that case,
probably
sure. The handkerchief might not be the best option, but it's also...
Yeah, okay, I don't know what kind of backwater hospital this is in Wayhaven, but in any hospital I know, they wouldn't do this kind of shit.
Yeah, probably.
Like, they practically can't wait to put some kind of... Like, how do you call those things?
Bandage?
Yeah, some bandage on you. Like, that's what they're there for.
Yeah, probably right.
And spray you with disinfectant and all that stuff, and then charge your insurance for, like,
of course,
a special consultation. Yes. Yeah.
Sometime later, in the office. A few hours later. Okay.
We never discussed the fucking results, man. I want some results. Come on.
I leaned back in my chair and let out a long sigh, folding my hands behind my head. After stretching out my aching limbs, gained from hours of sitting in a half-dilapidated office chair, I reached to take a sip of my drink, only to find the stale dregs meeting my lips. I grimace, slamming the cup back down. The glare of my monitor is the only thing lighting the small space of my office. I glance about, trying to adjust my eyes to the darkness. I didn't notice exactly when evening had fallen. A knock brings me out of my introspection. The click of the light switch being turned on catches my ears. Wincing against the sudden flash of artificial light, I manage to see Tina stepping into the room with a bright smile. "You're working late," she says, coming to perch on the edge of my desk. And we can reply, "If I'd realized the time, I wouldn't have kept working." Number 2, my mind's been all over the place. I didn't realize I was here so late. Number 3, that's not exactly unusual for me. Number 4, a detective's work is never done.
God.
And number 5, so are you.
I think I want to say number 2. My mind's been all over the place.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah.
My mind's been all over the place, I reply, rubbing my eyes with my hands. I didn't realize it was so late. Well, it's lucky you are still here, or I might not have caught you before you left. I raise a brow, waiting for her to continue. She half smiles. I have something that might just confuse the case even further.
Okay, that's good.
I sigh, as if this case could get any more confusing. The chanting you asked me to look into, which, by the way, I thought was a pretty strange line of inquiry to follow, has turned something up. The news has me slumping back in my chair. What is it? Well, apparently people have been hearing odd chanting all over Wayhaven, not only in the center of town.
Wow.
She rubs her fingers over her chin. It doesn't seem to be just drunken singing or weird talking either, but proper, full-on horror movie kind of chanting. It's hard not to chuckle at her melodramatic statement. Has anyone heard what they've been saying in those chants? No, Tina replies with a disappointed sigh. But one lady phoned in and did say she thought she heard your name amongst it this afternoon.
Oh, whoa.
I arch.
Cue supernatural music.
I arch a brow.
Yeah.
Really? I wouldn't read into that too much, though. You're kind of the talk around town anyway. What with being the one responsible to keep the town safe. So lots of people have been mentioning you. And we can say, great. Number 2, I will keep them safe. Number 3, nothing like the entire town relying on me to help with my stress levels. Number 4, maybe they should help themselves instead of just relying on me. And number 5, they'd better be mentioning my charming smile too. Number 6, I hope I can live up to their expectations. And number 7, we give a shrug and say, it doesn't bother me much what they think.
Yeah, she doesn't really comment on the whole everyone's chanting her name.
That seems important.
What do you want to say? I kind of want to say great.
Yeah, sure. Nothing of these really springs out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, not really.
Let's say great.
Mm-hmm. Great. The sudden weight of the town's expectations digs against my shoulders like an anvil.
Okay, that's what she meant. I get. Okay.
I'm pulled out of my sudden gloomy mood as Tina punches me lightly in the arm. That's enough talk about work. She springs up from her place on the desk and grins. I suggest we finally go out for drinks to celebrate our promotion. Your promotion.
Was that you or was that in the game?
No, that was me.
Okay.
I suggest we finally go out for drinks to celebrate your promotion.
That would be funny if she has a Freudian slip and it's like, oh, she already thinks we're in a relationship.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure,
Tina.
Everything's been so hectic from the minute you got the job. You haven't even had a chance to sit back and enjoy it. The idea is tempting, especially because she's right. My first day was welcomed with a gruesome murder, rather than a chance to settle into my new role. Any opportunity I might have had to enjoy myself was thrown out the window when this case started. I swivel around in my chair to face her, a smile still gracing my lips. And we can say, number 1, okay, but just one drink. Number 2, yeah, you're right. I deserve a good time during all of this. Number 3, I suppose it would be good to get a sense of the mood of people at the bar. Number 4, I better not. I can't imagine the mayor being too happy if he hears I went out during all of this. Number 5, I would like to, but I can't. I really need to finish these reports. Number 6, no thanks. I'm too tired. I'm just gonna finish up here and then head home. And last option, number 7, I'm not really a going out kind of woman. You know that.
It's a lot of options. It just occurred to me, but just overall in the game, I think, you could pare them down in some places.
Yeah.
It's just there's a bit of redundancy sometimes, I feel. But okay, that's just being nitpicky. I think this is a great place to cut it. I think we will do this, maybe just one drink, and then next time maybe we'll go out with Tina, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen. We'll just have good fun and stuff. And
absolutely.
But thanks for reading to me, Vincent. This was a fun
pleasure.
episode. I was really impressed with how dramatic Wayhaven got to me.
Dr. Murphy.
Yeah, and now with this whole chanting stuff, that also has me really excited because it feels like, oh wow, this is getting crazier, and it's turning into this weird Lovecraftian narrative.
Yes.
I'm expecting there's some kind of cult in this town now, which is very exciting to me. So yeah, can't wait to continue, Vincent. Next time we'll do the whole bar crawl thing. I guess. Thanks for watching, everyone. You can like the video, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can follow us on Twitter at @makes_play. We also stream on Twitch as of late on twitch.tv/HeMakesMePlay_live. That was all the socials, right?
Yes, that was all.
Anyway,
Well done.
we're out of here. Bye.
Bye-bye.